You know, I've always really enjoyed the jungle temple in Minecraft. It's a very different style of build from anything else that you can find as a generated structure, but also it just gives a lot of character to jungles. And so I thought, you know, maybe I'd mess around a little bit and, you know, make my own. So here's my take on what a jungle temple really ought to be. And before we jump into this, I thought I might actually mention that this is an extension on a previously existing lore build that I did for my hardcore world, which is a lot of fun. And, yeah, I guess QB roll. It's a whole thing, really, honestly, long story. You know, if you want to know more, go check out twitch.tv/NapoleonVII. That's all I'm saying. But, so I got the idea originally off of this eye that I kind of built to emulate the Eye of Ender. And I thought, well, you know, that'd be great if I could extend through the back of this into this big bowl that I found. A bowl generation in the map, which I didn't originally know was even there when I built this part. But I built this addition that was meant to be more of a cavern, so I could kind of find it and unlock it and then find this sort of secret city. The idea took mostly inspiration from like Mayan, like Aztec kind of builds, particularly like Chichen Itza and stuff like that in real life, as you can tell. But overall, I wanted to make a bit more of a magic build. And so kind of the idea with this was to make a build that could have floating islands, floating eye, and really connect in the idea of the end and ender eyes and floating end islands. But it also needed to be, well, you know, ruinous. It's a long gone civilization that once knew about the connection to the end portal. So in doing this, I really wanted to explore ideas of magic. That's kind of why I did sort of the wizard tower claw of copper as sort of conductive metal that goes around this eye, the blue glass encasing the amethyst chunks to make sure that it sort of has a propulsion almost look to it. And I added in statue work specifically because I like the idea that this was not just a rudimentary temple that exists alone. When you explore it more, you can find more within the build itself. And the more that you give into the build, the more that I think it actually gives back. And it gave a lot of broken looks. Broken looks, so much easier to texture in my opinion, because you can never go wrong. Like the internals of this build, which really made me happy how it kind of came out with these chains and these kind of like pillars that I did, but then also the big egg and the heating sources to go around it and the like, and the soul sand. It all just turned out really well, I think. In every step, I gained new ideas on wanting to build different things, and I like that this sort of looks like the actual portal frame itself. So if I wanted to explore that more, I always have that option. And I mean, going into a build with a theme or an idea is fantastic. It's almost necessary for building. But one thing that I think is really underestimated for how important it can be is the use of backstory in builds, or adding storylines to your builds so that you can really see where you want to take the build and gain inspiration for what you want in it. Not that this is a perfect build, but I'm very new to building in general, so it really helped me to do that, and it might help you too. And again, this isn't a complicated build. I'm sure anybody out there can also replicate this exact same build quite easily. In fact, the hardest part was doing it in hardcore and without an elytra. That part is never fun. But either way, I'm really proud of it, and I think working with the idea of a destroyed ruin always makes it easier to build in that way, just because, well, you know, you're not really trying to make something perfect. If it has imperfections, it's already destroyed, so who cares? I think it's worth noting that the towers and everything like that, and the extra portal frame over there, and the portal up there, and just every little ounce of this is meant to communicate a larger bit of story, and I think putting story into your builds is something more people should do. Without further ado, I'm gonna cut away to some B-roll of the actual assembling of this whole build from what I got, though I didn't quite understand how to use the replay mod when I did, and yeah, it was a lot of fun. So I hope you like it, and tell me what you think. What else would you think I should add into my hardcore world? So I almost forgot to do the time lapse for this, but I did remember in the end, kind of. So the base is kind of down for, like, you know, some of the structure itself, but all in all, I think it's gonna be fine. I'm gonna have to deal with those guys, I'm pretty sure. What are they doing? Anyway, other than that, let's jump into the time lapse, and I'll show you this build for the hardcore world. Let's go! And that is a wrap on this build, or at least all that I'll be showing off in this video. I mean, hey, I've got to keep some surprises and tricks up my sleeve. This is a story I'm telling after all, no spoilers. But if you've enjoyed this video, please remember to leave a like and comment what you thought. Let me know what else you'd like to see me build, and subscribe to see more content just like this. It's absolutely free and really does help the channel grow. Otherwise, check me out over on Twitch, and with nothing else left to say, enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video.